If I TM'd you on Wipe Day and I was like, yo, surprise, they added streets. But then in a parallel universe, I was like, yo, surprise, they delayed Lighthouse again, but they fixed the audio in the netcode, bro. You have to try it out. You'd be way more excited for that than the Streets universe. You know what I mean? It's like, screw the maps, screw the guns. You know what I mean?
I don't want to play Streets if it's going to feel like dog shit every time I see another player or an AI.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, the show dedicated to talking about all the progress things in life, like music, content creation, and video games. I'm one of your co-hosts, JesseKazam.
And I'm Veritas.
Welcome back to the Creamcast.
Excited for the wipe.
Oh, how hard were you clenching your fists when you said that?
I was waiting for you to be like, really? And I was going to say no. Dude, it's so funny how many people come in. For some reason, it always ends up being all caps.
Oh my God.
You for the wipe. Well, actually.
You still get people asking you when it is? When's wipe, dude?
Yeah, of course, dude. Of course.
Oh, yeah.
I woke up this morning, looked at my phone, and saw that a Twitter notification, because for some reason I get like Twitter's like gaming, like I'm subscribed to gaming news. I must have clicked something by accident at some point, but it's always like Pestily. I see shit Pestily, Battle State.
Yeah.
Every now and then I see Batter State was like 3 days ago. Batter State games.
Dude,
but today I woke up and it was like, we are announcing a patch at whatever, and I'm like, oh shit, it wiped this morning.
But then
today was we were just talking about Judgment Day. Today was Judgment Day, where it was like, oh, I guess if it's this morning, I just don't feel like playing.
Even though it wasn't the wipe, you thought it was, and that unlocked something because you thought it was the wipe, and you were like, I don't care.
Yeah, I forget how what the wording was. I don't think I can pull up Twitter or whatever, but it was like, I don't know if they say we are pleased to announce or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it was like, we'll be uploading a technical, and I saw like 2 hours. So I was like, oh shit. Because normally, what do they say? Like 5 hours or something?
Yeah.
So maybe I'm like, oh God, like this is it. Like, why would they post a 2-hour technical update now?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did they say? We are planning to install a technical update. Yeah, the installation will take approximately 2 hours. Anytime I've seen that stuff.
And it starts just like a wipe post. Tomorrow, June 23rd at 8. You're like, oh, this is it. and then they said technical update, and they said 2 hours. And I was like, no way.
When I see the installation will take approximately X hours, that just, it brought me back to every big like wipe day where I was like, oh, shit.
100%, dude, 100%.
And then I pulled up Twitch, and I saw like Pestily and a whole bunch of other names were all on like the cycle, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't look like it. Like it must not have been the wipe.
Yep.
But I hear shit's been buck wild.
It's been pretty crazy. Yeah, so we did get a string of events that I feel pretty confident in calling pre-wipe events. Like I do think
sounds like it.
Yeah, I do think we're definitely in pre-wipe because but I get like the frustration around that, and some people are like it is or it isn't because like this wipe cycle has been the weirdest one, right? We got like a podcast a few months ago. We got the like every day, it was like almost daily or like every 48 hours, we got the new events leading up to the 1.5 trillion thing. Like this has been such a weird thing that like everybody was so hesitant to be like, I don't know anymore. Is this pre-wipe or not? You know what I mean? So we got
and Nikita's been memeing more than ever.
100%, dude. Ready for wipe. He'll just like tweet that and like some artwork. Oh, dude, it's crazy.
I'm all for Nikita's shenanigans. Whether I'll pay attention to what Nikita says all day, every day, even if I don't give a fuck about Tarkov. It's like I want Nikita memes
for sure. So, but then it was like 2 or 3 days ago we got the airdrops. So have people been telling you about that? Oh my God.
Most people have been coming in and being like, the craziest thing just happened with Jesse.
It's dude.
Tell me all about it.
The airdrops is the worst, bro. The airdrop event was one that like made so much sense on paper, and nobody thought about how it would, because like on paper, that's so sick. Airdrops everywhere. There's loot. It's going to be draw PvP to the big red flares. It's going to be like, that's so cool. Like that's such a cool idea. And then
something was bad about it.
Yeah, it like imagine the reserve alarm, but never stops.
Oh, the audio.
It's exact, and that journey you just went on was we were like, this is gonna be sick. And in our first raid, dude, the day that was the only event, Veritas. When I mean, it would be an airdrop every 5 minutes. I mean it, and there would be there are pictures of 6 planes in the sky. I've been in a game and there were 4 planes in the sky at one time, and they play all 4 audio streams. They don't just play one. All 4.
Is it like you get like 3 FPS
Dude,
when that happens?
no, actually, the FPS isn't that bad. When they first, it was like, like they would do that.
Oh yeah, because they're like all stuttery and shit. Have you just like had the fucking volume at like 20%, what you normally do? Because I would.
Having a Go XLR, as soon as I hear it, I pulled my game volume down to like 40% because I just can't do it. And I've died so many times because like you can't hear. I just had my game volume down and I couldn't hear somebody running up on me, and it's like honestly worth it. Like rather than it's so loud and it was so much. Thankfully, as they've layered events, it's gotten to the point where you'll probably have like an airdrop every raid, but not like an airdrop every 5 minutes.
That's more manageable.
Much more manageable. Dude, I mean,
so is that from feedback or is that just like the progression of like...
I have no idea. They haven't mentioned anything, but it's just definitely been less. Dude, there are like so many raids where you spawn in, and I swear to God, within 10 seconds, an airdrop is like less than 10 seconds into a customs raid. You hear the airdrop, and you're like, oh my God.
You no longer hear like the wind or the rain super loud. Now you're spawning in and you see it like loading loot, and it's like...
Dude, and let me tell you, Veritas, the first day, it was raining in Tarkov all day, the first day of the airdrop event. So it was raining and storming, and there were 5 planes in the sky. And we were all like, wait, this was supposed to be a fun event? Like, was this supposed to bring people back to the game? Like, this is awful. But once again, really great idea, really exciting idea. Airdrops everywhere, loot everywhere. But it's the noise pollution it was so bad.
Imagine if it was the OG rain too, and not like the nerfed rain.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I'm just glad that they thus far, fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever, haven't brought back the fog event. You remember when it was like all the bosses were on reserve and the fog?
I didn't even play.
It was so bad, dude. It was so toxic.
That was one of the first times before I just like officially sort of threw in the towel.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I'm not playing. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy that event at all.
That was insane. That one was insane. But
all the bosses on customs.
But then so they did the airdrop event, and then they did the all the blah 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 stim, where they gave it like it buffs like 14 different soft skills, and it buffs them all plus 50 levels. So it instantly gives you elite in all of those things for like 200 seconds or something, and then it has a 5% chance to instantly kill you, which is lower. It used to, when they did that event before, it was like a 20% chance to instantly kill you. I remember seeing Bikizi go like 8 raids in a row where it killed him every time.
Oh, did you have it kill you at all?
I only took it once and it didn't kill me. But then the reason why it's annoying, the reason why
someone clip that, and I'm gonna put before that, like, have you ever done meth?
I've only did it once and it didn't kill me. The thing that they added though was that it, like, you know how if you get hit by a cultist knife, you just start like hemorrhaging health at all limbs, just
that's only happened to me once twice, and it was fucking terrible.
Yeah, and so it gives you that 100% chance. It gives you that when you take it. So for like 200 seconds, you just like lose health fast. And so like nobody's really.
So that's the killing.
Yeah. Well, it has a 5% chance to just instantly kill you. But then so it's no matter what, you're going to lose, you're going to get poisoned. Now, you can also then bring in an augmentin or the antidote stem and get rid of the toxication.
Oh.
But nobody's really,
Is it the official, like, toxic effect, or is it some unique?
No, it's the official toxic effect, like poison, I think is what it is. And then, so that was the second day's event where everybody was like, oh, so it was kind of just more of like 5 airdrops per raid. And then also you took one Obdobloplodos and then you were like, okay, that's done. But then the following day, yesterday, they did all bosses on customs, which is, I think this is the third wipe now where they made that an event. They did it on reserve and they did it on interchange. And now it's been on customs, which, by the way, can we get some dang love for Woods? This event is perfect for Woods. Woods is one of the biggest maps. It's got points of interest everywhere. They're not so close. You can spawn and get killed by Sturman in less than 10 seconds because the way his AI is, his SVD range is insane. And they put him at the ice cream shack outside of construction.
Oh, did they all have regular spawns?
Yeah, they all have like giant patrol points. But they put Snurman right there. So if you're on the bridge running across, you can get shot. If you're over like crossing the road to go to dorms, you can get shot. If you're in construction, you can get shot. If you're down the road, you can get shot. So like you can spawn in and die to Snurman immediately. Like Woods would be so nice for this.
It would be better. It would be better because of all the space, but at the same time, I feel like the biggest problem with the bosses, just like the rogues, is they have insane accuracy and vision at distance. So it would almost be like
there's less things, like less like cover to cover movement where you can like move along. Yeah, I guess that's true. But I still think it would be sick.
Maybe Shoreline, put them all
Shoreline would be
resort.
good too. No.
Put them all in resort.
Oh my god, that would be so
that
toxic.
Would be fucking that would be
fun for like a day. That would be fun for one day. And then that would be a day. And then
they should just do a different map every day.
Yeah, I mean honestly, that would be so sick if they did a different map every day.
It's hard to be super like repetitive and boring when it's only one day. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. So yeah, all bosses on customs. So Rashala is spawning in the dorms, like, and they're all 100%. So Rashala in the dorms. He's not anywhere else now. He's not New Gas. Rashala's in the dorms. Sturman is outside of construction. Killa and Tagilla are at Big Red. They're always together now because they're brothers, I guess. So Killa and Tagilla are by Big Red. Gluhar is at Fortress. And Sanitar is like by the building where you like flip the power to turn on the extract underneath Fortress. And that's where.
Does anybody have a name for that building?
It's Power Warehouse or Warehouse 4, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for the longest, I mean, for years, that was just an empty building.
It was an empty building. Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know if there were any call outs for it.
Yeah, Warehouse 4, I think. So. So that's been fun. I mean, like it's absolute chaos, right? Like it's just bosses everywhere. You're just like reminded of how, like, when it's like an enhancer. It makes all of the Tarkov emotions times 10. Like it makes every time you feel like
amplifier.
Yeah, amplifier. It like every time you feel the desync or like the AI, it's even more frustrating because it's so dumb and they're so broken. But then when you have a fun raid, it's so fun because there's like guards running around and PMCs and it's just like fully packed action. So
you can't survive a raid and have it be not fun.
Exactly. But you just surviving a raid is its own chore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally earlier, I had Killa. I was looking for him, and he was throwing smokes at me, so I knew he was like in the area. And
Killa throwing smokes? Is that new?
He's been doing that. He's been weirdly. I actually think that they changed something because he always would spawn with like 2 smokes, 4 F1s, and like 2 Zarya flash grenades. He's been
the like dynamite looking smokes.
He's been prioritizing throwing those first, like a lot recently, which I think is good. Because it kind of lets you know where he is, and it gives you, like, if it lands between your legs, you're not going to die. You know what I mean?
And you have an infinite, more, like, longer... Normally, he would just turn and fucking one-tap you, or, like, sprint, and now you actually have...
If you hear, shimmy, shimmy, push him, because he's pulling a smoke out and popping the thing and throwing it.
That sounds like a market improvement, too.
So, but I was doing that. We were trying to find him. and he whips around a corner. I was running around a corner to get cover, and he comes around that corner. So we pass each other. I turn around, and we literally went by frame before he had turned around. Like his shoulder and back was to me. We went frame by frame. I started falling over dead. Then you saw the muzzle flash of his gun, and I was like, oh, sick. I died before he even fired. And then we looked at the after action, and he hit me 2 times in the arm and 2 times in the thorax with a Golnik before his muzzle flash happened. I was like, this is like quantum entanglement. Like he exists in the future and can apply damage to me from his vantage point in the future.
Schrodinger's boss.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Anyone? Anyone?
It was science. It was unreal. And it's like that. It's like that's, imagine you're new. You know what I mean? And that happens to you. Like that. What the hell are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? It's so god awful. And
yeah,
then, so I was playing with Geeks, and that happened. And then I watched this on Geek stream. He kills me like that, and I'm mauling. I'm like, Geeks, this game is terrible. He peeks Killa, and Killa's standing there, and he goes, boom, 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 boom. And Killa dies, doesn't shoot at him, doesn't move, doesn't turn around, just tanks all the shots. After killing me from the future, it's just like, oh, yes, I shall repent.
And you know, Killa pulled up his replay and was like, what the fuck, dude? I shot.
Exactly.
God
exactly.
Almighty. So have they, I know that they,
so bad.
The whole movement thing they've added to the game, right?
Yeah,
like they're fixed to the janky. But I remember coming along with that, or at least it was announced on the same podcast or whatever, networking fixes. Is that in the game yet, or is that like wipe?
I don't know. I don't think it's in the game yet. I know.
I hope not.
I know. Yeah. I don't think. If it is, it didn't work. If anything, so I can tell you what the common thought process is. The common thought process I've heard from many people, streamers, YouTubers, and just players, is that when they did that patch, the smoothing patch, Desync has felt worse since then. is the common thing. Now, I don't know if I've noticed it. Like, it's really hard. Desync has been bad. What I'm trying to say is I don't know that I would attribute it to the patch. It's one of those things where it's like Desync is bad all the time. But then when you point people towards it, when you're like, oh, I mean, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. They were like, we're doing a patch. And then the community went, this patch is going to help with Desync, even though that's not what they said. So is it worse Desync, or is it that over nothing, your expectation was that Desync was going to be less, so the standard amount of Desync offends you more and convinces you there's more Desync? I don't know if there's actually more Desync or if that's what happened.
It's just confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Like,
But it feels like it's been pretty bad recently, the Desync.
You would think that, you know what, I'm just going to have to watch some gameplay for the first time in forever, because I still have it fully ingrained in my head what all of the fights looked like.
Yeah.
And then I've had all this time off. You know what I mean? When there's like a gradual decline, it's really hard to miss, but, you know.
For sure.
If it went from here to down to here, I would probably notice the difference. But
for sure.
I wonder... if it is actually true, I wonder how much of it is due to maybe smoothing.
Yeah.
Or whatever interpolation, whatever it is.
That feels like that makes sense.
Or maybe the fixes were all client side. I don't know, but
I had one really weird raid where I was playing with Desmond, where I killed a guy, and then I shot a different guy in the face, and then he killed me. And I was like, oh, Tarkov, and I mean, I'm always like, I'm dead, right? So I was like, let's watch the replay, because Desmond's still like, killing everyone on the map. And before I go to pull up the replay, the after action thing, and I didn't kill anybody. And I was like, I killed that guy. I killed the first guy, and then his second guy killed me. So I was like, let's watch the tape. Veritas, it was like my client was like 400 milliseconds behind, because I shot at a guy, and as soon as I shot him, he fell over. Halfway into the animation of him falling over dead, Desmond shoots. But Desmond killed him. Desmond got the kill, and I didn't. But on my screen, the dude was falling over dead before Desmond's gun rang out. And then the second guy, I clearly shot him in the face, and then I died. And I was like, what happened to my client there? It was like all messed up.
Imagine, I don't know if there's multiple types of updates, but if the packets for Desmond shooting didn't make it to your client, but everything else did.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, that kind of explains
maybe
what you would see, right?
But Desmond did shoot.
You would think
Desmond just shot after the dude was dead.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, I don't know if
it's like the packets came in the wrong order or something.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I don't know about like if different types.
Yeah.
You know, you would think that maybe the state updates would include this person shot and this person died.
Yeah.
But maybe they're two different kinds of packets. Maybe those packets got lost along the way, because then he would shoot, it would go to the server, hit registration, would then be like, he's dead, send him to you. But then if those shoot packets beforehand got dropped along the way, maybe and
that's, I mean, it's a similar thing to the Killa thing where I encountered, where it's like, obviously he shot 4 bullets, but I was dead before he shot 1. And so it's like, I'm sure that something in the information, but that's an interesting situation because there is no client. Killa doesn't have a client sending to the server, then sending to me. It's like Killa is the server, and somewhere between the server and me, it just killed me before it showed me the gunshots. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's just sounds like packet loss. And that could be, you know, that could be just your fucking ISP.
Yeah, maybe.
But chances are it's probably just something on their server side.
But either way, it's annoying, and it's been happening a lot. And I've died. The Desync has just been feeling rough. I've died behind walls. I've gotten killed by people who, like, we frame by frame it, and their gun is not exposed. Like, they are behind a wall, and I can see the little chicken wing of their elbow, and they shoot me, and it's like, oh, he must have quick peeked, and it just didn't give me that information or whatever.
Now that I think about it, it's been a long time since I've rehashed the same bullshit 90 times a day. So bringing myself back up to speed, it sounds exactly what would happen. Like what happened when I did my Netcode video, where people would be running and then everybody would run in place and then they would teleport forward.
Yeah,
that was the server basically taking a shit.
Yeah,
for some amount of time. So.
And yeah,
maybe those updates.
Maybe that's update is what it did. Is it added some sort of like prediction model smoothing to cover when the server does that, and so it's not making accurate things, because that's kind of what Star Citizen did. Because the desync was so bad, they added this crazy smoothing thing. But then you would shoot at a ship and then it would just like teleport to a different place, because the server was like, while it was hitching, it would predict that the ship was going to keep going this way, but it didn't. So then when it finally caught up, it was like really smooth, and then it would just be in a different spot. And so, like, I don't know. So, I mean, by and large, it's fine. I mean, of course, some people are going to tell you the game is literally unplayable, which I would say literally don't play. I'm still having fun. Of course, it's stupid deaths. But like, it almost makes it easier to swallow that it's pre-wipe, right? Because as soon as pre-wipe happens, the moment Nikita utters the word wipe, all meaning is lost, right? Like, why quest? Why, like, it's
90% of the player base just stops playing.
Yeah, it's like why do anything? It's gonna be wipe. And I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. It's like, why grind if there's no meaning to grind? So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I'm not like mad. It's just frustrating. It's like, and then the events help and hurt, because the events mean that it's like instant, quick action, fun. But then it's also like when you die to that stuff 11 raids in a row, you're just like, man, this is lame. So I hope that the networking fixes aren't in, that it was just like a smoothing thing they did and the networking fixes aren't in.
It'd be so depressing if they were in.
It would be very depressing. I also don't know what they didn't mention was if Unity 2021. What Unity are we on? With 12.12 brought us to a new one, right? Did we go from 2019 to 2020 or 2018 to 2019? I don't remember.
I think 2019.
We're on 2019. Okay. And they have said on podcasts that like they are testing Unity 2020, that they're like trying to move up to there, which we've talked about many times. They're trying to get to as new and as relevant of a Unity engine for a bunch of things, you know, not limited to, but including Steam Audio and all sorts of other stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that maybe like Unity 2020 comes with this patch, because they've been testing it for a while. They migrated to Unity 2019 pretty quickly. So that would be dope. I'm hoping, and then some networking stuff can come with that. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's been something.
I feel like
it's been something.
You know, like I've said before, and I don't want to harp on it, but I've just been kind of like meh with my interests and whatever in Tarkov. But if they wipe and everybody's like, the movement is smooth as ever, the networking is amazing, they updated to the newest version of Steam Audio. Yeah. And if it was like unanimous, everybody was like, the game feels better, it feels more fair, it feels all these other things, then I'd be like, yo, I gotta give it a fucking try. Yeah, it's funny, but that makes a lot of sense. Like if I was like, yo, if I TM'd you on Wiped and I was like, yo, surprise, they added streets. But then in a parallel universe, I was like, yo, surprise, they delayed Lighthouse again, but they fixed the audio in the netcode, bro. You have to try it out. You'd be way more excited for that than the Streets universe. You know what I mean? It's like, screw the maps, screw the guns. You know what I mean? I don't want to play Streets if it's going to feel like dog shit every time I see another player or an AI.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be more likely to go into offline mode and walk around and be like, yo, this is sick. And
then play
Trackmania. Put the game back
in
into hibernation. You know?
Yeah. So,
dude, you need to send me before I forget. You need to send me that sample that you have of me like fucking screaming or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, please. Because what I didn't know until like last week or the week before that is you can add your own custom horn in Trackmania. This new map came out that we were all like waiting for, and there was a bunch of people all in like one lobby, and everybody was grinding it. And every time I got back to the starting line, which if you're trying to grind a map, you might start 5 seconds if you just like hit the wall or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was restarting constantly. Every time I did, I'd hear like what it sounded like, those screaming goats.
The screaming goat video
is what it sounded. And I'm like opening up Chrome, looking on tabs on my phone and Chrome. I'm like, what is that? And someone's like, it's a horn.
It's a custom horn.
And I was like, no way. And then I accidentally bound the horn to pressing in the analog stick because I needed to unbind that from something else, and I couldn't figure out how to unbind it, so I just bound something else to it. But I press in the stick really hard, and I pull the trigger way harder, like I'm like, you know,
gotta go fast,
like as if it's gonna make me faster. But every time I would turn, and then the ghosts, they saved the horn. So if I'd be driving with my ghost and we turn at the same time, dude, it was the funniest shit. And I need to make that my horn.
That's hilarious, dude.
People would die.
That's hilarious. Yes.
So yeah, send me that audio file.
All right. That's amazing. But yeah, so I hope that we're getting a new Unity update. I hope that we get some networking fixes. It's hard because the Steam Audio thing, I at least have like some cursory understanding of like, you know, when someone's like just fix the audio. Between your videos and the research I've done on Steam Audio, it's like, okay, I at least have some sort of understanding of like, there's a technical limitation to adding the modules to Steam Audio, the other modules of Steam Audio. They are actively basically in a race to get to the newest Unity engines. Yep. For that reason, we know that like Unity, the company Unity, has had a team working with Battlestate Games for a few years now. So I can have this understanding of like, okay, I understand it's not as easy as fix the audio, and what they're trying to do is ultimately give us not just like decent audio, but like amazing audio. You know, you play Hunt and you're like, holy cow, this game sounds good. The desync and the tick rate and stuff like that, I really just like don't have an understanding of, and so it's harder for me to be like, hold on, guys, it's gonna be better. You know what I mean? Like I don't know because because I just like I play any other video game and the desync is just like so not as bad, and so it's like I just don't have that understanding.
Steam Audio is because it's a third party dependency. It basically just comes down to they got to update so that it's compatible with whatever version that they're on and whatever. So that's a lot. At least implementing it is a lot less work. Comparatively, the bulk of the Steam Audio work is configuring the environment, all of the geometries and all of the variables for what are the occlusion levels for all of these different surfaces. And because the one thing I did learn when I was doing the research for the Steam Audio video and messing around in Unity is that if you just click on all the walls and say they're all wood, that gets you like 85% of the way there, but you end up with a lot of really interesting, like in real life there's so much more than just it's wood, right? Like there's concrete, but then in between there's wood and framing, and there's steel structural, and then there's all kinds of other windows and all sorts of stuff that make it sound
for sure
different. Actually, one of the weird things I noticed yesterday for the first time, so I have my house is 3 levels, and the basement, it's got one of those things where it's got like 10 stairs, but it's like going up and then going back up the other way, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that going down both levels, and the stairs are right above each other.
So kind of like dorms, where it's like boom, 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 all the way up to the 3rd floor.
Exactly. And I was talking to my wife while she was coming down from our bedroom. I was coming down. She was going into the kitchen, and I was going into the basement. And then I closed the door behind me, and we were both like yelling shit back and forth to each other. And all of a sudden, I could hear it clearly. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And I realized that there's one of those the vents in the floor that you can like open or close for the AC and the heat. And I realized that normally what happens is I hear like, ha ha, and all of a sudden it gets muffled when I close the door, and it got a little muffled, and then I walked down to the first flight, the first landing, and all of a sudden I could hear it as if she was right. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, and I look up and there's the vent there.
That's crazy.
But that's just another thing that you'd have to, consider, where it would be trivial for them to just say this whole floor, all of the floors is wood. But it's like, if there's a small little gap there, then you really want to account for that.
Yeah.
And so, there's a lot of tweaking they need to do. And then also there's a lot of dials and knobs that are completely ambiguous. It's like you want to set the reverberation for an area. You set it to 0 or 1. 1 being the max. It's like what you need to do, or at least what I figured out what I had to do, and maybe there's some other way. I read all the documentation, and I'm a software engineer, so it's not like I'm complete newbie, but it was like set it equal to 1 or 0.5 and then fucking run it.
Try it out.
Stand there, make some noises, and be like, that's way too much reverb. Dial it down to 0.25, do it, and be like, that's way too much reverb. Dial it down to 0.07. It was like, okay, that feels about right. And then you go up to the next floor, and you're like, nah, this isn't right. Like, it's just a bunch of arbitrary bullshit.
Yeah.
That, so really they would have to configure everything and then just go all over the place and make sure that it all
sounds natural.
And then there's high frequency stuff. There's low frequency stuff. So like, maybe they make it so an explosion sounds right, but then high frequency, a flashbang noise or whatever might not sound
weird,
right.
Yeah.
So there's it's just a bunch of little bullshit.
Yeah.
That you have to deal with. When it comes to the netcode, they've already written everything, and it's a giant tangled mess. And you can't change bits and pieces when it's that spaghettified. You can't change
spaghettified.
you can't change pieces of it. You have to slice the whole thing off like a tumor.
Yeah.
And build. There's just no way when if you don't build it intelligently and architect it intelligently, if you do, then there's one little piece that you can snip off the edges of at the borders, pull it out, and then implement a good version of that and put it in.
Put it back.
But when they're all, imagine one file that had a million bullshit broken things. You just have to take the 7,000 lines of code, throw it out, and rewrite it from scratch.
Yeah.
And that's just so much more work. And not to mention, you're going to have, even if it's much better architected, you're going to have a whole host of bugs and all.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, do you want to do this massive thing? It's almost like you have a major surgery and then have to go through a year of physical therapy.
Yeah.
That's what it would be like. It's almost like taking a giant step backwards before you can now, you see that I'm picturing the guy with like the prosthetic leg that runs like the marathon. I'm sure when they first amputated it, he was bedridden for a while, and then, but
now
that's what the Netcode is. Netcode is like a dude with a giant tumor in his calf who needs to get his leg amputated, and Nikita just needs to amputate the fucking leg before he can move on. This metaphor has gone it's too far.
I think it's perfect.
Next time I talk to Nikita, like, yo, just cut the fucking leg
off.
Just
cut the leg off.
He's gonna be like, what?
But that's the thing is like, I guess the problem, not problem, but my frustration is that I have no idea where they are on that journey. I have no idea if it's like, they're like, once we get to Unity 2020, we're going to cut the leg off because Unity 2020 offers us these tools and rebuilding with these tools will be better. You know what I mean? Maybe. Or have they been working on like rewriting it on the back end and testing it internally so that they can deploy, kind of do a switcheroo on us? Like, that's where it's just like, I have no idea. And, you arrived at this place, a year or two before I did because you played Tarkov a year or two longer. But like, it's just getting harder and harder to remain as like positive when people are like, dude, I just keep dying to desync. You know what I mean? It's like, in the beginning, everyone was like, in 2017, 2018, it was like, yeah, but it's beta. Like, dude, there's so much potential here. And in 2022, it's like, where are we at?
Yeah.
Is the most measured response. You know what I mean? Like, because the unmeasured responses are like, all the vitriol on Twitter and stuff like that and Reddit. But the measured response, if you've been playing for 4 years, is like, where are we at with this? Can we talk about it? Like, can you just tell me, is it going to be 3 more years of this, or is the netcode getting better just around the corner? You know what I mean? Because it feels like this would be the end of it. If they were like tomorrow's 1.0 and the netcode was the same, it feels like this would be such a giant, this and the audio would be such a giant contributor to just the game quickly dying. You know what I mean? Because it's like, even if you liked the content that was available, like, how many times are you going to die behind a wall in the 1.0 game? You know what I mean? So it's like, once again, I am ignorant. I am not a game developer. I am not a software developer. I am literally just and I'm very aware of my position. Like, people come in and ask my opinion. I'm like, dude, I am very aware my position is just nerd in bedroom with lights on me. That's it. And they don't owe me anything.
And it feels shitty.
Yeah, they don't owe me anything, but it's just like, it feels bad. It feels bad for everybody. It's felt bad for 4 years. And all I want to know is like how long do we think it's gonna feel bad for? You know what I mean? Just like, help me out here. Like, I don't know,
dude. Whenever I've talked to Nikita about it, he's always said, I would love to fix it. I think it's just too much work. Which to me screams, they're not gonna fix it. I think he's probably like, if I had to just throw something out there, as my gut reaction.
Yeah.
That is probably missing some amount of truth or context or whatever. It's that I think he's just crossing his fingers and hoping that they can like remove a couple noodles from the fucking bowl of pasta and put a couple of other ones in there that like maybe improves,
and it'll get us like 50% of the way there.
And then he can just cover his eyes, cover his ears, and
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing, though, what's interesting about that theory is the arena. Like, public perception is definitely a thing, right? Like, public perception is often, wrong, or like you said, missing context or something like that, but it's definitely something. If Arena comes out at 100 plus tick rate servers and it's good, what will happen immediately on the back end of the excitement about that will be, where the hell is this in Tarkov? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying we need 120 tick rate servers. I'm just saying, like, if they're thinking
tick rate ain't the problem.
No, I know. But regardless of what you call it, there's no way Arena works with the level of desync we have right now. Client authoritative, tick rate, whatever. Like, once again, I don't know the words to use, but they're investing all this money in making Arena. If Arena's good, if Arena's bad, Arena dies. If Arena's good, everybody goes, where is this in Tarkov? You know what I mean? Like, if Arena's good, everyone's like, why is Tarkov not this good? So
I would be extremely surprised if so here's the thing. If they completely wrote from the ground up the networking for Arena, then that would be a really good sign, because then it would mean that it would be infinitely 95% closer to replacing it in Tarkov.
Okay.
But there's so much work there. Yeah. And I think Nikita would have indicated to me, not necessarily, like, I think he would have been like, we're working on it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have told me that it was for Arena, if he wanted to keep it on the DL, but
I just don't see no way they launch Arena with it like it is now.
But okay, now think about it.
And when I no way, I mean that probably is going to happen.
So think about it. I had to make that Netcode video because for between 2 and 3 years, we had all these issues that most of the community didn't notice, even though it was right in front of their eyes, and that Nikita didn't know.
Yeah.
So what are the chances that in the last, 9, 10 months or a year, Nikita went from not knowing there was a problem and then still sort of denying that there was a problem and then never accepting that there was a problem to then implementing from the ground up an entirely new networking system? To me, they're going to have the same netcode with 120 tick rate servers. And
you're just going to die behind walls smoother.
No, I mean, maybe. But if anything, like, to me, the issues have always been, at least when I did the research, it's always been related to like resources and performance, not related to the update rate, but related to, for example, like, let's say there was a memory leak or some issue with event queuing or whatever. The server was getting overwhelmed somehow, whether it was events or whether it was with memory or resources, threads, and it was just locking up and then dumping everything all at once. Well, imagine if they quadruple or double or whatever the amount of information. It might just be worse.
Because increasing the tick rate is just increasing the amount of times the server gets fed information.
Yeah, it's a clogged pipe, and now they're going to say we're going to shove 10 times as much water through. Aren't you excited? So
that's an interesting.
No, I already know the comments are going to be like, Jesse needs to get someone else on the podcast because Veritas is such a Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to respond to the topic at hand with the information I have. If I had different signs, different indications, like, I'm not trying to be negative for the sake of being negative. No,
for sure. But the thing is that I don't know what tick rate is really, or how it pertains to this stuff. And so you're educating me on that. And it's not like we're cherry picking information to be negative about. The only information really that they gave us on the server infrastructure of Arena was that they wanted it to be esports ready and that the server tick rate was going to be high. They didn't say esports ready and we've modernized the servers such that they shouldn't get hitched up nearly as often. Like, if that information was out there, we'd be talking about that too. And you'd probably be like, hey, tick rate's not the problem, but they did mention this and this gives me hope. You know what I mean? But the only information...
And if they fix that and then up the tick rate, it would be like, holy fucking shit, it's going to be a totally new game.
Yeah. And that might even be the case. But the information we have is they were like, we're making all new netcode, it's going to be better, we're increasing the tick rate. maybe they are doing the right thing as well behind the scenes, but because we don't have that information.
And historically speaking, all I'm working with is the knowledge that a lot of the issues that are well understood, documented, and experienced at scale, and by I mean like the scale that we're all hundreds of streamers are playing, and with their thousands of community members, is that there's a ton of issues that they have either denied, like that are said that are not a problem, or kind of like, I don't want to say ignored, but basically, when I talked to Nikita about the whole stuttery, movement, and not stuttery movement, which they just recently fixed, but also the even worse, like totally freezing games where all 5 players on my screen would all freeze and run in place for the same exact number of frames. That whole thing where, if you haven't seen the Netcode video, the thumbnail is Tarkov's Netcode. It's in my Getting Tarkov playlist. Nikita was like, wanted my information on my router. It's like, dog. That just, to me,
you literally had all 5 perspectives on factory. 5 different routers, 5 different places in the world, 5 different ISPs, 5 different
Yeah, I mean, it's either like misdirection, which I don't think it's some conspiracy. I don't think he's trying to gaslight me. I genuinely think he either is so removed from the issues, or they don't, the developers and the QA people, they don't experience the game like players do where they're on production servers after 6 months of playing the game with all of the cruft that's there. Full servers of real players all around the world. They probably have 3 dudes on a local instance. Because
it does make sense that Nikita wouldn't really know if he's got a team of network guys that are being like, hey, we made improvements, or like, we haven't noticed any of these issues recently, and then you go, hey, this is all bad. It's not unreasonable.
Who's he gonna believe?
It's not unreasonable for him to be like, well, maybe it's your ISP, or maybe it's your router. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not his job to write the netcode. It's his job to manage a company. So it's not unreasonable.
And it's not his job to debug my, it's like when people come in and say, I have this very specific thing. I'm like, have you tried plugging it in again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I get it.
For sure.
But again, that's what, to go back to how I prompted this whole thing, I'm going off of that I have years and years of issues that I have fought for recognition and have proposed solutions for that went from denial to then nothing, radio silence, to then suddenly being like, we fixed the thing that we denied, and then when we said wasn't really a problem, or then we said was related to this other problem that we then ended up, basically, Veritas was right 10 months ago, but we're just not going to say it. He's told me, and I've showed it on videos, he's told me, they'd be like, oh yeah, you were right about X or Y or whatever, and so I have just no reason to feel massively confident that this is not just another example of they've put a new coat of paint on a car that is just leaking oil.
Yeah. I've had some interesting things like, so since that smoothment update, I haven't noticed. It doesn't mean that hasn't happened, but I haven't noticed that thing, that factory thing where the entire server, whether it was AI or people, would walk in the same spot for a second. When we start the raid, sometimes there's still like my duo partner will like be running in place, and then like pew once, and then the movement is so much smoother. We have had this multiple times where like the other day I was playing with Velian and Gingy and Jay, and Velian was like, oh my God, look at this. Like, look at Jesse. And it was like so stuttery. Like I was like it was crazy. And Jay and Gingy were like, what? And I was like, yeah, everybody looks smooth to me. And Valiant and Jay and Gingy were like, Jesse is smooth as butter. But Valiant was like, no. And I like pulled up Valiant's stream, and I was like so choppy. And so that was weird that it was like, it was smooth for everybody but Valiant.
I wonder if that's the other 2 people, were they running around?
Yeah.
By any chance?
Yeah, we were
I'm
all
just-
like running around. And then I was
The
looking
only-
at them and they were looking at me. And then I pulled up Velian stream and
The only thing I can think of is, I don't know if there's like a routing
yeah.
issue, like if he's in a different part of the world
Yeah,
or whatever.
maybe.
But imagine your packets somehow weren't getting to. Yeah, I don't know. That's fucking weird.
It was weird. And so like I haven't noticed any of the like whole server or all the AI. Normally like 30 seconds into a raid, everything is settled in and everybody's smooth the whole raid. Obviously, yeah, maybe that is increased or decreased something else. But that was just weird where it was like specific people would experience something that nobody else in the group would experience. And it's like, that's weird.
Yeah, I guess
I had
it's either a really unique issue or
yeah,
controlled testing needs to be done.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where it's like, all right, everybody record, because there might be something that
we're
were
missing.
with
Yep.
stream delay. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
And then I was watching Velian. He was playing with Jay last night, and Velian was completely invisible to Jay the whole raid. Not at the beginning, the whole raid.
That old chestnut.
And that's happened to me before. And it's happened to me on both ends where I was invisible and my partner was invisible. And we would always do damage to each other. Jay couldn't hurt Velian. So Velian,
the other way around. Did he try to like shoot at the void where he was standing?
yeah, that like Jay pulled up, like Velian stood in a corner, and then Jay pulled up his stream and unloaded an entire mag, and nothing happened. But Velian could hurt Jay.
And Velian was invisible.
Velian was the invisible one. So he ran around. He was like, "Am I invisible to other people?" And then they ran into Scav Boss, and Scav Boss could see Velian and killed him. But it was super weird.
What the fuck?
Dude.
That almost that. And I hate that I want to like theory craft this stuff because I have like no information. Usually what would happen when a crazy bug was reported to me, whether I was back in the robotics industry or whatever, it was always come up with a theory for what would cause it based on my experience with the code base and whatever. And then go in and start debugging, starting with that kind of theory, and then eventually you can work your way down into isolating sections of code and pinpointing it. But to me, that just seems, it screams to me that like his character wasn't properly initialized on the server or completely came desynced. Maybe it was that issue where his location was like totally offset and desynced, like where back in the day the scav would be like underground.
Yep.
Like his location would be underground, but
so he'd be invincible because you could see him.
Oh yeah, so right. So there's two different cases, right? There are times where they would be invincible because you can see them, but you're shooting not their hitbox, or the other way around. They're like, imagine their ghost, their hitbox was right in front of you, and you could hear them shooting and yelling, but their player model was underground.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see them. Maybe it was one of those. Maybe it was one of those issues.
Super interesting. Super interesting.
But I mean, if you were on the server, and you could pause the simulation and start printing out shit in the debugger, and you could, be like, all right, print the location of this person, and then print the location of the other person, and you'd see their XYZ coordinates were pretty close, or you'd see XYZ was negative 99999, or, negative whatever the max float value is, or, something, then you'd be like, oh, clearly something's fucking wrong here.
Yeah. So stuff has been weird. I can't tell if it's weird because of the recent update or if we're just seeing the weird because of the thing. Because, right, like, in the same vein, it's confirmation bias, but in the same vein, it's like once you told me to look at my teammate's movement, it's all I could see. That doesn't mean that the day you told me about it, his movement got worse. It was just I could see it. So that's what, is it a mass where everyone's like, oh, the desync is going to be gone. How's the desync? And now we're just seeing a normal amount, but it's just like, oh God, it feels worse. But it has been feeling rough. It has been feeling rough, big rough. And then they did the technical update today, which was weird because it was nothing, dude. It was nothing. Like, not of course, obviously it was a technical update, but like it was a technical update. The game was going to be down. Everyone's like, this is a wipe. I was like, I don't think it is. It was on a Thursday. Yep.
That was another piece when I saw the tweet. I'm like, it's Thursday.
It's
Had to
Thursday. So we were like, oh, what's the technical update? And sometimes with technical updates, they'll do like little mini patch notes on Twitter. It's like, we aimed to address this, that, and this.
Probably some bullshit bugs that like tech debt that they needed to fix that nobody cared about.
Yeah, maybe. I was wondering if it was that or if they were like setting up for an event. Like they were like putting some code in for like another event that's coming up. You know what I mean?
Could have been.
That they
Totally could have been.
You know, like that feels like that makes sense to me. But I didn't think it was going to be the wipe. Because they always say it's going to be a wipe. You know what I mean? In the tweet, they'll be like, tomorrow we're taking the game down and installing patch bump. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people got debated because everyone's like, they confirmed wipe. Like people come to my chat, wipe confirmed tomorrow. And I opened up the tweet and I was like, I don't think so. So the technical update happened.
They did confirm a wipe
with this patch.
Okay, yeah.
But not like, So yeah, so I think it's probably more like that. It was either, like you said, some tech debt thing that they just wanted to get out before the patch, or there's like an event, which I hope so, because they have been going ham with the events. They've been doing a lot. They've been doing really interesting ones. I would like that. I think that'd be cool if they did something big. They've been showing off a bunch of new streamer items, which is awesome. Glorious got one, Gingy got one, and they're showing some love to not just the NA streamers. Like there's this like German streamer that got one, and Munition got one.
Dude, I got stuck down a fucking just garbage Twitter hole the other night, and I was one of those. I'm proud of myself that I didn't respond, but yeah, it was like some dude.
Was it the guy talking about the girls?
Did you go? Did you? I was scrolling through the whole thing just because I was like, I want to see this guy get fucking roasted.
Yeah, which he did. The thing with that was like somebody brought that up, and Valiant was like, oh, that guy is like a known like. Valiant, yeah, immediately he's like, I don't even think he believes it. Valiant's like, that guy's a known troll. I've had that guy blocked on Twitter for like a year. So I think, unfortunately,
he's one of those people that gives a not a normal, kind of like a hot take, but wouldn't be ridiculous. Like, I'm all for, there's tons of female streamers, and I think that they should get more recognition than they do. I mean, clearly a bunch of people were like, what do you mean, dude, BSG is fine. There aren't really any female streamers in Tarkov at all. And I'm like, well, you're right, and then you're completely wrong.
And then you're completely wrong, yeah.
And then so many people missed that, like, you know, the evasion armband, that's not Sigma's streamer.
Oh my
God.
God.
It's fucking Sigma's streamer item.
Yeah,
like,
Jesus, dude.
She asked for it, you know. But when you follow up something with like kind of a hot take that's not really informed, with like people criticize you, and then you're like, fucking got him, plus L fucking ratioed, whatever, then it's like, okay, you're just a piece of shit.
You're just,
like,
yeah. It's so like, hard, man. It's so hard because, like, it's like everything. It's like we've had conversations a bunch in the past about like Twitch chatters that are trolling. We've talked on the podcast about how, like, you know, the right thing to do is just ignore it, but sometimes you just can't. Like, sometimes you just like, you just want to blow up on that person. So it was hard because I genuinely believe he got exactly what he wanted, which is like a metric ton of Twitter engagement, and he got a bunch of laughs. But on the
who wants that?
Like, I don't know.
I
freaking
envision
weirdos,
a kid,
dude.
It's sad. I envision a kid who just incessantly is bullied. He's in 7th grade, incessantly bullied on the bus.
Yeah. And
has to take it out somehow. Like I'm people say I'm like projecting or whatever. But like that's just
I get it.
What kind of person would be just so fucking shitty?
It's sick. It's awful that people do that. And I don't know this person. My assumption, my gut is that he got exactly what he wanted with that tweet. However, I also totally understood and enjoyed reading some of the female streamers' responses. Like Ammunition chimed in, Gingy did, I think Sigma did, because it wasn't me that was being attacked by it. So I could see it and be like, it's not worth engaging. But like, I totally understood that they were like, you're an actual garbage human being, because he is, you know what I mean? And it's like, And
it was the worst
and it's the
of the
same
worst.
thing where because like when people in my chat, I engage with people I shouldn't because I just can't, or because somebody insinuates something about me that's not true. You know what I mean? But he took it. Yeah, he took it. It wasn't just like, yeah, it was just.
No, dude, it was the worst of the worst because what he was doing is making a not so terrible point in the wrong way.
Yeah.
So he was saying like, what the fuck? When are they gonna, Battle State continuing to do this thing about not supporting female streamers? It's like, it's almost like almost like the definition when people use like simp derogatorily. Derogatorily, whatever. Because it's like, dog, there's so much you're missing. Like, you're arguing for this thing that you clearly don't know already exists. So it's like, and then he trolls. So it's like, are you actually like, he doesn't give a fuck about female streamer rights in Tarkov. He doesn't fucking care. He just wanted to say he really wanted to shit on BSG in some way that he could. Which there's criticism that they have involving females and whatever that I don't want to get into, but yeah.
Well, there was the guy who was like, female streamers should get more and BSG sucks. But then there was the guy who was like mad because then one of them was ammunitions and he was mad. He was like, female streamers shouldn't be getting them. They add no value to the community. Like, you did. That's the one I was talking about. Some dude actually came in and he was like, this is ridiculous. Female streamers shouldn't be getting streamer items. They add no value to the community. All of these guys would get smoked by any male streamer or something.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That is one of those ones that I just wouldn't even read.
But that's what I'm saying is that, like, I got why they responded, because if it was said about me, I'd be like, listen here, dick. But I was like, oh, no. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, it was awful, dude. It was like, people are so stupid. People are, like, truly messed up in the brain, dude.
Yeah, I think I finally, with enough therapy and indifference to the community, the worst of the community, I'll say.
Yeah, of course.
I've gotten to the point now where it's like, he's clearly either just a complete dickbag who actually believes that, or he doesn't believe it, and he's not a rational, serious actor, so he's not worth engaging.
Yeah. When
somebody makes the right point for the wrong reason, those are... Now, if they're doing that and trolling, then it gets a little complicated, which I think that guy who I was talking about before
the other guy,
where he's like, because, he was arguing for more female streamer items, saying that they've never added a streamer item and fuck them, they're terrible. It's like, well, like, maybe he's just ignorant.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's to me, it's a lot harder to ignore someone who is right for the wrong reasons or is right toxically or whatever. But yeah, I was stoked to see.
For sure.
Stoked to see a bunch of the new items for tons of people, and I what was it? Oh, it was the beard.
Oh yeah, that's baddies.
So there were like 3 people that people were either tagging or whatever. The first one I saw was actually like Ghost Freak Pog ! And I saw that and was like, oh shit, that's sick. And then everybody, the next like 10 were all like baddie, baddie, baddie. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. I'm like, cause Ghost's fucking, playing forever. Baddie deserves it.
For sure. But so does Ghost.
But Ghost, like Ghost should have gotten one before me, I would argue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like there's so many more people that deserve it that they have time to fucking add. And also it would make the collector quest more and more aids.
Yeah. So yeah,
I still get hate mail for, I've been looking for your fucking guitar pick for 6 months now. I'm like, dude, it's
everywhere.
90% of the people complain that all they fucking find is my guitar pick.
Yeah.
And you're having trouble. It sounds like it's a skill issue.
I had like 5 people tag me in the baddie beard too, and I was like, I don't have a red beard, man. Like, I don't think that's me. I think it's baddie. But I think that Nikita on the podcast said that all this new batch are not going to be included in the collector. Like, I think the collector has been capped.
No cap.
No cap. And then
cap, no cap.
And then somebody said it would be interesting if it was like find 20 of them. Like you could just find 20 of them.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. But
it still blows my mind that like I wonder why, like the fucking Willer's wallet. Maybe it's because it's like functional, I guess, but like some of them are just infinitely rare, and then you've got the
because
Veritas guitar pick.
because it's like, what is it tagged as? Like yours is tagged as treasure, so it's in safes, it's in all these loose spawns, like all of these spawns that are just marked as treasure can spawn a Bitcoin, a GP coin, money, euros, dollars, a golden skull ring, or your guitar pick. And there's so many more of those than places that can spawn wallets. You know what I mean?
Now I just need to. I haven't updated I have a script in the bowels of Battle Buddy code that I haven't touched in like a year that I can just go through and pull a bunch of data, and I should be able to actually see what the information is on the. I don't know if they put loot information, or I guess I don't know what they use, if they use the type at all, or if there's more to it, right? Like, because Bitcoin is treasure, right?
Yep.
So clearly it's not treasure items have a particular spawn rate. It's certain items have certain spawn rates, whether or not there's like treasure items have this base one, unless it's overridden. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, is that like this is a treasure spawn. Of the treasure spawns, you have a 1% chance to get a Bitcoin, a 3% chance to get a Veritas pick, a 5%.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But there's 1,000 treasure spawns. I legitimately think one place you can get a Willer's wallet, and that's marked. It's the only place. I guess there's multiple marked rooms, but I've never seen a Willer's wallet outside of a marked room.
I don't know. I've only found, I think, 2 of them. Maybe 3 of them.
I found like 8 this swipe. It was so weird. The other day, 2 weeks ago, I literally opened Marked Room. The only thing that was in Marked Room was 2 Willer's wallets side by side. I was like, this is weird.
Oh my God.
But they were completely worthless to me, because with Found and Raid, it's like I got out with them and I could sell them to therapists for 7,000 rubles.
Oh my
right?
God. I would have either left them there, or you should have went looking for some Timmy, and
yeah, that would be cool.
And yeah. That's sad.
Oh, the scav case makes sense as a point. But once again, yeah. Right. So even if we add all those together, all 4 scav cases, all 5 marked rooms, there's 73 individual treasure spawns on Lighthouse. I'm making that number up, but there's probably 73 in the freaking water treatment plant. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, it's just so much easier to find those things. And if your pick is weighted at a higher over the golden skull or the whatever, but less than like rubles, it's just like, yeah, you're going to find 8 picks per Lighthouse raid compared to Willer's wallets or evasion armbands. That's the other one that's super rare. You got
I found the
Pestley masks and shroud masks spawn on scavs. So when you think of every scav as like a potential spawn point, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of potential spawns. For
the denominator is much bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Rat poison is considered technical, so it'll be in any technical crate. So you can farm. I
find a shit ton in interchange on the shelves.
Yes, because interchange is literal technical loot heaven, and then all the technical crates on customs or on reserve or something like that. So like everything. So it's the things that find themselves in the least, amount of categories, i.e. the evasion armband, and the Willer's wallet. You know what I mean? It's like, those are just the ones that are super hard to find.
I was thinking that I thought I found the Willer's wallet on the fucking first day of the wipe on customs in, you can spawn in the back of the building.
With like the van, it's like right in front of you. No.
No, not that building. The one, it's opposite. So you have Old Gas, and then there's the bridge right next to Old Gas, and then there's like the back door with the fence.
Oh, yeah.
And that I spawned right next to the shelving, and I turned. You know what it was? It was
I know what shelf you're
holder.
talking about. Yep.
It was a key card holder with a black key card in it.
On your first day of the wipe. Oh my God.
I don't think it was the first raid, but it was the first day, and I was like, holy fuck.
That's insane.
Yeah, if it was a Willer's wallet, I probably would have been more excited, because I ended up with a bunch of, granted, a bunch of them were from viewer kits, but I ended up with like fucking 7 key card holders by the end.
Yeah, I found.
Did they ever fix the issue of where the key card holder, like the price is truncated on the or whoever you buy it from? So it says like 88360, but it's really like
800.
Yeah.
I don't.
I wonder how many people that's.
I think they did, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that's
I told Nikita about it, and like 3 months went by without it being fixed. So I'm like, and that's another one of those things that, at least if I heard from me in that case, I'd be like, ooh, that's not just a quality of life issue. It's more serious than that. I would be like, just take the fucking font down like 2 points or something.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah. Well, and it's the same thing with like a similar thing to that is like the air filter's still broken in the hideout.
Oh my god.
Like, if it's hard to
does
fix,
he not care, or if it's difficult technically?
Yeah, I don't care if it's hard technically. Turn it off. Do something like.
Don't let people spend the money.
Literally,
and use resources.
Every single time somebody asks, every time in my chat, somebody goes, "Is the air filter still working?" I go, "No, I don't think so." And somebody will go, "What do you mean? I spend 160,000 rubles every day on a filter." And it's like, yeah, dude, sorry. Like,
and it consumes the thing still, right?
Yeah, and the same amount of time, dude, 100%. So it's like, how have they not just turned it off so that you can't put a freaking out of order sign on it?
It's probably easier to just fucking figure out what the problem is and fix it than it is to turn it off. Like, turning it off would be adding new functionality to a system.
Yeah.
Unless they wanted some way. I mean, it would be
money sink
worth it.
The hideout module, like
it would be worth it if they ever wanted an event where, oh, there's an EMP and now your whole hideout doesn't work. How they could disable either certain partially modules, or certain modules. Then I mean, fixing the bug, you could build a new feature in that would get around them, but instead they just don't do anything. I wonder if it's just low on the priorities. I mean, it shouldn't be.
That's the thing. It's
because
like
there are other things that they've been fixing for months, and it's not like they just found out and it's not first priority or second priority. It's been 6 months where a thing's been broken that it should have made it in the like.
I remember
I'm the first one to defend when people are like, fix this first, don't add more content. That's just a brain dead thing. But when it comes to, they should have fixed these things by now. Yeah. There's no excuse.
I remember like 2 weeks after I found out it was broken, I was like, I can't believe it's not fixed. And that was like 3 or 4 months ago. And I was like, oh my God. It's crazy.
Has it really only been 3 or 4 months? I thought it was longer than that.
I don't know.
I thought it was before the wipe.
No, it was this wipe. But I don't know if it's been broken the whole wipe. It was only 4 months ago that I found out it was broken. Who knows how long it was broken before that? Because I paid to get it set up, and I spent a bunch of money on the filters, and I was like, wait, this is taking forever. And then I figured it out, and I was like, oh, geez. Yeah. So events, technical update. We're getting some new streamer items. That's awesome. Fingers crossed for a slice of pizza. There's some wipe day theories on when people think it's going to be. It's got to be soon, right?
It's pre-wipe. It's whenever Nikki, like,
yeah. Well,
it's one of those things like they're doing a whole bunch of events, and I bet you, like, there's no way they have a fucking day planned.
Hey.
At this point,
they did for 12/12. 12/12 happened on 12/12, and
yeah, but how far ahead of time was it? And
I think it's reasonable to, like, it was like, I don't have all the tweets pulled up, but I believe they decided that like at least 2 weeks in advance, because like. I remember Nikita tweeting out like a trolley tweet, and he said, you already know when the wipe is. And everyone's like, oh, it's 12/12 on 12/12.
You said that was 2 weeks though.
Well, I'm not saying, I'm saying my guess is that they had that date locked in for at least 2 weeks, maybe more. Because then they were also doing like, the events they do where they show us like the newspaper clippings. All the article numbers were like article number 1212, issue number 1212. Like, I really think they were like leaving the clues, and they led us up to 12/12.
Yeah.
So now that pre-wipe has begun, I believe they have a target date. Even if they only know this target date, like even if it's like, okay, we're going to start pre-wipe today because we have the patch locked in for next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't think they have the date locked
agree.
in months ago. I think basically day one of pre-wipe is, we have a date locked in. You know what I mean? So people are just wondering how long it's going to be. Now, everyone always goes back.
There has been times where they start a pre-wipe, and it would go for a week, and then the wipe came like 6 weeks later.
Yes.
Like the pre-wipe ended,
and then it was like, no wipe.
Well, now what?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
There was it was like 11.7 or 0.12 where like the raiders were on every map for like 3 weeks. And everyone's like, dude, this has got to stop. This is so bad. Mm-hmm. And then there was 2 years ago, the one wipe where they did a podcast and Nikita was like, we're wiping tomorrow, Lamau. And they did like 12 hours of pre-wipe. But
I see Instagram Escape from Tarkov is added to their story. New lore.
Was it the horse thing?
Yeah, just a horse thing 7 hours ago. What the fuck is that all about?
I have no idea.
Did anybody count the horses?
No. Oh, but
they were all spinning. There's probably some sort of like cosine function.
Probably.
Is the wipe date.
In the Abdab, the blah 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 boss stim.
What were all the numbers? What were the numbers?
The numbers, yeah. So it was like Nice Guy tweeted this. So like the damage taken. Okay, so the way the flavor text reads the Alba Dabba Laba stem is going to kill you is it will say chance 5% damage taken, and it'll give you like a number of how much damage you're going to receive. And obviously anything over 440 would kill you because that's our... And
like 6
and like
something?
Last wipe, it was like 2,200. And then like there was all this math where people were like, oh yeah, and then like the amount of time it would buff your stims last time was like 2,212 seconds. So there was like 12, and there was all this math, and you arrived at 1212.
Dude, have you seen Camping at the End of the World yet?
Yes. Yeah.
From the Internet Historian?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. But it worked out, and then this time, the damage taken is 3,006 damage. So anything over 440 is going to kill you. Last time...
Like 30-06?
Yes. 30, yeah. So people were thinking, because like in most other parts of the world, it's day month. So 6:30 is a Thursday. It's next Thursday. It's a week from today. Would be 6:30. So people are like, all right, Thursday next week. So like that is one of the theories is that it'll happen next Thursday.
And it's going to end up being like Rashala has a time machine that takes you forward to 3006 or something.
Dude, give me a cutscene of the frickin' cultists launching an EMP and wiping. That'd be sick. Oh, dude, I saw this tweet. It was so funny. So, like, you know how when Nice Guy was deep into the, like, it's going to EMP and we're all going to get nuked. It was like, and they debated us with the arena thing. And the base 64 cipher or whatever came out to long live the hood. And everyone's like, the hood, it's the cultists are going to do this. Nice Guy tweeted out the other day. It was on Gene Burns' SoundCloud. There's a song called The Hood. And he was like, oh, there's got to be something here. And then
are there lyrics?
And then Tweak screenshotted it. And Tweak was on SoundCloud listening to the song The Hood. And an ad for like makeup came up on the bottom. And it said sale ends June, like 0630. He was like, He was like, coincidence? I think not. And it was so funny.
Imagine it was just like, where the hood at? Like it was just that fucking song on a SoundCloud.
So it's all the shmemes. Now, so nobody knows. I would imagine, like, my honest guess is anywhere between like this coming Monday to Thursday. Like, I think 6:30 would make sense that they drop some breadcrumbs, because then like one of the issues in one of the newspapers was like issue number 630 or 36, or it was something to that effect. So like they've left enough.
Oh, there were more than one. There's more than one number that indicated potentially 630.
Oh yeah. So the issue number was 30030. So somebody was like, okay, the 30th of the month. And we know they've done this before. They did this with 1212. Everything was issue number 12 or issue number 1212. So
could it mean that it was like 0% chance it's on the 30th?
Honestly. So we get that. We get the 3006. I think it's relatively reasonable to think that it comes on Thursday or earlier because pre-wipe started on a Monday, which is unusual, and they normally have pre-wipe for like a week. So a week to 10 days. So that makes sense to me. Like I would with relative confidence, knowing I know nothing and I'm almost always wrong, say wipes probably next week sometime. I don't know. However, okay, so this is the tinfoil hat stuff. Are you ready? I put this in just so I could see your eyes roll in the back of your head. I love it. I love it. So there is a conspiracy that potentially this patch will include the first iteration of Streets. And there's not a whole lot of footing here, but here are some things that are weird.
Okay, before you say that, that's entirely possible, but I bet you none of the reasons that you're about to say have anything to do with it.
It's one of those things, where I could just say, the wipe is tomorrow. And if I'm right, it's not because I'm smart. It was because I got cosmically lucky. Like,
do you know how many of the fucking mediums and psychics?
Yeah.
1,000 of them all say there's going to be a terrible earthquake on this day, and one in every 1,000 gets it right because that's how statistics work.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, they were fucking right. It's just a high fucking chance hit, but yeah.
Okay. Well, so one thing that's weird is that, which we've been talking about for weeks, is weird. Literally a year ago now, like one full year, 12 months ago, they showed us the Cost of Concordia trailer, and Nikita said that this part of the map is roughly map size, like Tarkov map size, and it's done. All we got to do is like put loot around. That was a year ago, okay? And then we got more trailers, and we got radio silence, and then we got more trailers, and then we got radio silence. And then Nikita randomly tweeted out like 3 weeks ago, hey, we want to do Streets before autumn. He didn't say he wanted Streets at the end of summer. He said before autumn. Okay. So it's just weird that we haven't gotten it yet. Now, the real, so the conspiracy theorist says it's because they want to surprise us with it. The realist says it's because they can't optimize it, which is literally what he said during the podcast. The other thing that I find interesting...
You just saw chat, my like mental breakdown in chat. Dude,
I saw you typing and I was like, wait, what's happening?
I know this next week is going to be fucking AIDS because your voice was echoing and I didn't want to fucking deal with like all the audio bullshit. So I just reverted back to like the default shit I had. And then halfway through the podcast, I had an epiphany and I fixed it so that it wasn't doubling. And now the audio is going to be, but everybody's going to go and watch the beginning of the podcast. Oh my God, dude, it's not working because they can't wait until Monday.
Just delete, dude.
I'm sorry.
Tonight, as soon as you're done streaming, delete the VOD.
Honestly, I might, dude. I might.
And then people will just ask you and you'll be like, yeah, it's coming on Monday. And just breeze on by. Oh, but whatever you did to fix it, write it down so we know next week.
What I need, it gets routed because for some reason Chrome is routing it to my music, which but fucking Video Ninja somehow has its own routing where I can select the output.
Yeah.
So if I select anything other than music, it goes to my stream mix. So your voice was doubled because it was going to music and to the stream mix. So the quick and easy thing was to mute the music. Sorry, it was to uncheck that music goes to the stream mix.
Yep.
But then that means it's going to music and it's muted for the VOD, for copyright, blah, blah, blah. But what I need to do is make it go to the stream mix and then mute the music source in OBS.
And then Bob's your uncle.
Which I solved like a month ago, but I just forgot.
Yeah, we took last week off. And
there's 9 billion ways to fix audio when you have
100%.
Go XLR and...
100%.
But yeah, I'm gonna have 17 people every day being like, "Do you know that?" Yeah, I know. And they're gonna say, "Well, what does that mean?" Wait for fucking Monday.
Yeah, it means that Jesse was on some super rant, and I just deleted it from the VOD.
I'm just gonna say Jesse fucked up. Go talk to him about it. People must have come to you, right?
No.
Oh well.
Maybe they did, and I didn't see it. Okay, put your tinfoil hat back on. All right. The other thing that's weird. And once again, I don't believe that Streets is coming. I just love the conspiracies, man.
You just don't want to admit it. You believe it, and you don't want to admit it.
It's more so that I like wanna believe it. You know what I mean? Like I wanna believe it. I don't, but it would be so sick. It'd be so fun. You all right?
Dude, I mean, everybody watching the video knows that we've been chilling, and I'm too ADD. I usually like to do something while we're sitting here chit-chatting, and so I've been changing the strings on my guitar. And
you dropped one.
The fucking, I guarantee, like, you can't see this string.
Yeah,
it's so fucking thin. And I was putting it in, and I was talking, and all of a sudden it went like boing. And now I couldn't find it, and I just found it.
Yeah, I've been there.
Thank God.
I've been there.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Literally again.
It's fine.
I got my tinfoil hat on.
Listen, we gotta go.
Tight.
The other thing that's weird is that we don't know what this patch is called. And that doesn't sound weird, but like, when was the last time that they did a podcast? Like when they're like,
it could be 13.0.
Yeah. We always know what the patch is called. They talked about 12, like they'll do podcasts 2 months after a wipe hits, and they'll be like, yeah, we want this in 12.12, and this we got moved to 12.13. And it's like, oh, like we always know what the next patch is whenever, especially when they do a podcast specifically about that patch. And that was what was weird, is the most recent podcast, they did a little bit of Q&A on the arena, and then the entire time was them showing us features in this patch. And we don't know what number it is. Someone's like, wait, is it 12.13? And I was like, I don't know.
I don't know why I thought it was 12.13.
And that's the most rational and 99% positive. They'll just be like, hey, we're installing patch 12.13, and we'll all be like, oh.
I thought that's because they said it somewhere.
I don't.
Or maybe when they showed, like, someone needs to go back and watch all the footage where they like previewed shit from the devcast. I vaguely recall seeing 12.13 in the.
I'm pretty sure Reverse told me like one of the builds shown on the podcast was like 12.14.5 or something.
Like, it could be.
Yeah, but it made even less sense, because it was like we've been in pretty much order since 12.12 came out. Yeah,
so I mean, the way that, do you know how like versioning
generally works? It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not always just going to be the next version, because if they did the next version and then did something else, you know what I mean, before they wanted to wipe, we would get whatever the most recent version is. Yeah.
A major version, minor version, and then revision, which is the last number. That's usually just like bug fixes, whatever.
For sure.
The minor version is almost always tied to specific features.
Yeah.
So maybe when they were in their development, they had 12.13, added a big feature. And then someone else might have been working on 12.14 for a longer ahead thing, and maybe they got out ahead of it.
For sure.
Then they merged it together, and then you keep 12.14. Sure. So you can skip numbers.
And once again, that is the way more logical. It was just weird because we got not wipes, but we got major patches with that warranted patch notes for like 12.9, 12.10, 12.11, 12.12. Like, you know what I mean? So for them to skip is not. It's not like they name them for us. They name them exactly internally for actual reasons. But it's still weird that nobody's said anything. Like, you know what I mean? Nikita hasn't been like in 12.12. So most likely it's just because they haven't, or they forgot. And what we're getting is 12.13, 12.14, 12.15, whatever. But the conspiracy theorist is like, they know if they say it's 13.0, we'll know Streets is in it. You know what I mean? Like, they know they can't say 0.13. So, you know, the conspiracy theory is like, when they do the tweet, that's when it'll break. It'll be like, tomorrow at 8 a.m., we're installing patch 0.13. You know what I mean? And they're going to like surprise us. Like I said, is it going to happen? Probably not. But I love me a good tinfoil hat. I want streets so bad.
You're a believer.
You know, I'm like a fake believer. You know what I mean? I want to believe, but I don't. The hopium. I'm on the on the hopium. I hope it's true, but I don't think it is. That's actually a much better way. Yeah. Do I think it's true? No, but I hope it is. I hope I'm wrong. Whereas copium is like believing it,
yeah.
like full on believing it to be true. So I'm on the hopium. That it's this.
God. I don't know why that just reminded me, but I actually finally went down the rabbit hole of searching for what the fuck no cap meant. And it's completely different than, surprisingly enough, like 90% of Twitch chat that uses it doesn't know. Do you know?
I mean,
I had to like history of Urban Dictionary fucking.
Yeah, at one point does a thing not mean a thing if everybody uses it wrong? That's a different discussion. But it's used as if you're not lying. You're telling the truth. No cap.
Yeah, but like kappa, like so many people think that it's like no kappa. Like how kappa is used as sarcasm, that they think it's like no sarcasm. I'm not kappa.
Yeah.
And that's actually not what it is.
No.
So do you know where the terminology comes from? So my understanding, at least, and maybe someone can fucking correct me, but I'm going off of
they will.
fucking raphistory.com or whatever it was, but it comes from, when people have the gold fronts, like rappers or whatever have the gold fronts. So you can have, there's two kind of different kinds. You can literally have your teeth removed and like gold ones put in, or you can have caps.
A cap.
Which is like you're fronting your fake, whatever.
No cap.
So you're basically saying like, I'm not a poser, I'm not faking, I'm like legit.
Dude.
This is what I mean.
On God?
So I didn't
on
know.
God? That's bussin'.
Yeah, no cap. Oh
based.
My God.
Based,
dude.
Bro. That's based as hell.
Oh, hello, fellow brothers.
Yeah, dude. Hello, fellow young people.
Sup?
Based. Skill advancement based. BASTE. Like to baste something.
Oh, my God.
That's so funny.
Based. Dude, someone's like, yo,
based.
I love Thanksgiving.
Hell yeah, dude.
What is that? God, is it Bruce Almighty? Where he's like, fuck, what does he do? God, now I don't remember. Never mind. I had it in my head before. He does some like, oh yeah, he's like, hello, brethren, or some other shit like that. You've seen Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well.
I want to get
another person whiter than me and you is fucking Drew Carey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Sorry, Jim Carrey.
Drew Carey.
Actually, no, Drew Carey
is actually whiter. Yeah.
And then Jim Carey, and then Veritas and JesseKazam because they're brothers. So
yeah, 100%. I want to get like an emote that's like a little turkey baster, and you do like a BTTV and you make it like you make the text BASED. So anytime anyone puts based, like that's based, it's just a little turkey baster. That would be funny.
Oh my God, I added one. Fucking, it's the best. The only good thing Boopus has done for me in the last month. You have 7 TV, right?
I don't know.
Oh. You probably can't see that.
No. What's 7 TV? I've got.
It's infinitely better than BT TV.
I've got BT TV. I've got Frankers.
I can go on 7 TV and in like 4 seconds upload an emote and you'll see it in chat. You won't have to fucking like wait. It's so good. You need to install
7
fucking 7 TV.
Okay.
It's BT. Yeah, it's better Twitch TV.
Better Twitch TV.
And while you're doing that, I have to say that there's literally nothing better in this world than the Trackmania community's emotes that they have. There's this one guy, his name's Mark, that streams, and he's a fucking character, dude. He's hilarious, and his emotes are the greatest emotes. Fucking, I'm not Erasmus here. Once you fucking install 7 TV, You'll see these emotes. Oh my
Dude,
god, they're
what?
so good.
All right, so what was the one that Boopus made? Because I have it installed now, and I'm seeing all sorts of GIFs. That is actually great.
But yeah, that
Dude,
emote,
what is the
one that
resolution of that? 8 pixels by 16 pixels? Like,
yeah, dude, it's terrible. But you see the one that's like this?
that's so good, dude.
The Vinky, dude. The best thing is that it's the most versatile emote on the fucking planet. You don't realize how often it's used, and it makes sense. When it's first and foremost, it's like the Trackmania hello. People come in and like, oh, hello, like they're waving, like hello, hello. But then half the time it's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then the other half the time it's like, come on over. Like there's just so many uses for it.
So good.
Oh god. Yeah, there's so many good ones. This guy is the biggest character. This one,
the Veris smash is so
works
good.
so well. Oh my god, wait. Is Borpa spin? Is that with a capital B? Or is it lowercase b?
Veris slide.
Oh yeah, that one. Borpa spin and then spin in.
Oh my god.
And then like here, Jesse, tell me what you think. He's just holding them fucking microphone up, dude. They have the best
That's
emotes.
incredible.
Ugh. And every day I still get 50 people come into chat and they're like, dog, I didn't believe you and I went and fucking installed it.
Oh, 7TV.
No. Trackmania.
Ah.
I didn't believe you and I installed it and I haven't played Tarkov since, and this is the fucking greatest thing. But then like also I flunked out of school. My wife left me. Like I'm so addicted. So welcome to the fucking
the brotherhood.
club.
That's funny. That's freaking funny. Dude.
Somehow I'm out of breath. What did I do? I think I
changing strings
went over
takes
to
a
my
lot out
other
of you.
keyboard and I typed in 3 emotes. And that was like a core workout, dude. Oh.
Bro.
Oh fuck.
I
need a fan down here.
It's been so hot, dude. Today it was 103. Feels like 112.
But you have air conditioning.
Yeah, but
does it work?
No, it can't. Our AC was set. So while I was streaming today, I had my window unit set to 69 kW.
Nice.
And it was 80 degrees in my room. And our house AC was set to 72 and it was 81. It's just too hot. Bro, we went outside. Bad move. We just went to go for a drive because it's like there's only so much you can do around the house. Sometimes you need to go take the kids, just go contain them. All right? Walk outside, no wind, no breeze. You're just walking through freaking molasses. You're walking through Satan's armpit. It's 100 and it feels like 112, humidity at 177%.
You sit in your car's black seat, you go to put on the seatbelt and you get 17-degree burns.
100. It's awful.
We were wearing a hoodie though.
Yeah.
Can't be that bad right now.
Well, no, in my office at night when the sun goes down in my office, it's freezing because I know I'm about to stream, and once I fire up the game, the computers get spinning. Once I stream and fire up the game, so I need to keep the AC really low. So at night it gets nice and cold in my office because I just rip the AC, my window unit, as cold as it can go. But during the day, bro, when the sun's up, woo!
Yeah. Well, I don't have air conditioning, and fuck whatever. No matter what the temperature is outside, it's hot as balls.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that.
I need to bring my fan out from the closet. I usually remember a month before it's winter time before I'm like,
and then you bring
the fan out, and then I bring out this. I still have my still got my space heater sitting next to me.
Oh my god, I bet it gets mad cold up there.
Yeah, but I mean,
wicked cold.
Never that cold, just because I got these 3 things and this light, but it gets unbearably hot. That's the reason why I never did anything with VR and my racing rig, because I got it and set it all up in the summer. I played, fucking Assetto Corsa with the VR headset on for 14 minutes, and I was drenched in sweat and also was like nauseous as fuck from
the VR,
spinning out in the F1. By the way, you still got me. I'm still addicted to the F1 stuff since you recommended. I forgot
Drive
that you
to
recommended. You're
Survive.
3 for 3. You're 3 for 3. I forgot. There was Dark, Severance, and then Drive to Survive. I am like a year behind on. People are like, "Are you gonna watch F1?" I'm like, "Don't spoil it," because I haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
But I'm actually I found it fascinating that
I got a new one for you.
The latest season, Max Verstappen was like, "I'm not in this."
Yeah. Yeah.
Which honestly made me like after the first season, I was like, "This little shit."
Yep.
Like, what an entitled little
100%.
And then after a while, I was like, "No, I really think that maybe it just portrays him that way." And then every time I've seen him like outside of the show, I started to like respect him more and more, and he seemed like a lot more like less shitty.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he was like, "I don't want a part of the show," I was kind of like, that's like more vindication that maybe he's not.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like Veritas on Escape from Tarkov Reddit.
Yeah. There you go.
They just make him out to be this fucking the heel.
There you go. I got another one for you. It's a movie this time.
Okay.
Have you seen? You might have seen it because it's like new and it's big right now. But have you seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Never even heard of it. I haven't seen a movie in like a year. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Can you tell me more?
Is
it some like quantum entanglement shit or?
Yeah,
wait, really?
It's like a multiverse. It is. There is no way.
I was gonna say no more, but I want you to say more.
There's no way I can actually explain it to you. It is
not like dark timeline.
You'll
understand.
Yeah, you'll understand it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it gets your brain grow. And dude, people in chat are like, don't tell him anything. Like loosely at a macro level, it is a movie that deals with like multiversal, sci-fi.
Snape kills Dumbledore, though?
Yes. But that's not what the movie's about. And everything you thought of when I said those words, multiverse and sci-fi, you're wrong about. Everything you thought of. So, like, it's good.
You don't know me.
It's good. Like, the words I want to use to describe it are more emotional. Like, it felt honest. It felt real. It was very good. So like, watch that. Like, watch that movie. It's good. It's a good movie. It's good. It's a good movie. But that was like, I saw it and I really enjoyed it, and then I was like, I need to throw this on the list. Of Veritas to watches.
How long is it? Or like a 90-minute? Or is it when people actually make good movies, they're like 2.5 hours long, so they're much longer than they should be for theaters. But
yeah,
it's like my YouTube content.
I don't remember how long it was. It was like somewhere in the 2 to 2.5 hour mark. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's good. Watch it.
I'm watching that tonight. I'm gonna be done streaming at like 2 a.m. and I'm gonna stay up until like 4.
Hell yeah. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Very interesting. Very good movie. But do you watch Peaky Blinders? Did we talk about Peaky Blinders? No. Okay, that you need to watch Peaky Blinders after. But that's not like science fiction. Is
that an older, or did they have like a remake?
The newest season just dropped. The final season.
Oh, it's a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like British, like UK
gangs,
inner city gang?
It's very good.
Isn't that like a bajillion years old?
No,
I think about it like.
I mean, the first season probably happened quite a while ago, but it's like
15 years ago. I remember when I worked at the indoor skydiving wind tunnel. There was a British woman, Tanya. She used to call me a fucking twat.
Yeah.
She would always talk about Peaky Blinders.
The Peaky. By order of the Peaky Blinders. It's a very good show.
I remember like pulling up oh no, you know what? Maybe it was Train Spotting. Maybe that's what she told me about. Because that shit's like 15 years old, right?
Okay. Listen, it doesn't matter how old it is. You got me to watch Band of Brothers. That's like 25 years old, all right? I'm not saying Peaky Blinders is as good as Band of Brothers, but I'm saying that.
Oh, it's Train Spotting is 1996. Okay, so that never mind. That's what she.
Okay.
And I just remember watching it and being like, oh, not really. But Band of Brothers was 2001. Holy shit, 22 years ago. It holds up. You wouldn't.
It was great.
You wouldn't. I mean, it was about the fucking World War II.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah.
It's not like oh, this isn't.
Yeah, it's not like
it's not contemporary.
It's not like alien sci-fi from 20 years ago where you're like, wow, the CGI was rough back then. You know, it's
dude. The fucking main enemy is claymation. Yeah. The Germans look a lot like Germans.
Yeah. No. Watch Everything Everywhere. But the next time you want a TV show to watch, Peaky Blinders is very good.
Peaky, what the fuck?
I've
literally my entire life.
Cillian Murphy.
Everybody's been talking about Peaky Blinders, and I've literally been picturing Train Spotting this whole time.
It's the gang, and they wear the hats with like that. The brim comes out like this, like golfers wear, and they sew razor blades into them. So when they get in fights, they all take their hats off and grip them and fight with them.
Oh my god, is it like Gangs of New York?
I've never seen that.
I'm sorry. Okay, we'll add that to your fucking list, mate. Right. You've never seen Gangs of New York?
No.
Cameron Diaz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Daniel Day-Lewis.
No.
You know Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yes.
Have you seen There Will Be Blood?
Yes, I did see that.
Okay.
I did see that.
Well, watch... Fuck.
Listen. You watch Peaky Blinders, I'll watch Daniel Day... New York.
Oh, God. So people who have seen both, is Gangs of New York anything like Peaky? I'm getting two different vibes. I'm getting either Gangs of New York, but also because it's like doesn't look like it's super old. Is this maybe like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, somewhere in that?
I think it's
That's like what their fashion looks like.
What, Peaky Blinders?
Yeah,
right after
like
World War One. Right after World War One is when this is.
Oh, okay, so 30s, 40s. 30s. Okay. Yeah, the only other thing it reminded me of is, what was the Sons of Anarchy? There was like the one season where there were like overseas in like Ireland or something.
Yeah.
And there were like, weren't there gangs over there? I don't know why that kind of reminded me of that.
I mean, dude, okay. Some of my favorite acting performances came from Peaky Blinders. So Cillian Murphy as Tommy Shelby is legendary. That man should win an award for just like best realization of a character. Very good. But then you get
wait, is it based on a real person?
No, just like it was written down and he made it real and it was amazing.
Oh, okay. He realized the character. It wasn't sorry.
And then freaking Tom Hardy is in a few seasons, and whenever I said Tom Hardy, whatever you think is wrong. He's like the head of this Jewish gang. His name is like Alfie Solomons. He's so good.
He looks intense as fuck. Does he have like a burn on his face?
Yeah.
Or he looks like the Hound, dude.
Adrian Brody was in a season.
I'm so glad that when I put Peaky Blinders into Google Images, there's like a whole thing on the top that has like Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, and I'm just clicking. I don't know any of these names, so I'm just clicking on all of them. Like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, Adrian Brody.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, very good show.
Thomas Shelby. Yep, I know. Oh, never mind. That's Adrian Brody's character.
No, that's Cillian Murphy's character. Thomas Shelby.
Wait, what? All the pictures are of Adrian Brody.
No, the main character of the show is Tommy Shelby.
Oh, wait, when you click them, they're all like filters, and when you click multiple, you're basically saying Tom Hardy and or Adrian Brody and or Tommy Shelby.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, if you like Peaky, then you'll like Gangs. But this is more like, I want to say like 1800s, but it's so fucking good. Gangs of New York. Dude, it's such a good, oh my God. 2000, that's a 2002 movie? That's fantastic.
Everything you recommend for me to watch is like 2001 to 2003.
Imagine if I was like, go see Star Wars Episode 4. You'd be like, oh, it's so fucking old. Well, you should have seen it by now.
I've actually never seen the original trilogy. I'm just kidding.
Stop the podcast.
Did you see how quick he turned around?
I'm taking fucking like submissions for a new host. If you had not seen the original trilogy, if you had been like, I saw episode 1 and really loved the derivative. No, fuck you.
No. My hot take is that I did not like The Mandalorian at all.
I didn't watch it.
Okay.
I've been kind of like over. Once episode 1 came out, I was kind of like, oh, okay, Star Wars is dead. Although I did like Rogue One and a few other ones.
Rogue One was great, yeah.
Just despite the critical acclaim. Also, the story in Gangs of New York was by a name called Jay Cox. Cocks, not Cox.
Jay Cox.
Cocks. It'd be better if his name was Richard Cox. Just Dick Cox. Okay, anyway. Okay, 1840 to 1860 is Gangs of New York.
Oh, like when it's set?
I mean, it's literally like brand new New York.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Unork.
Yeah.
Dude, directed by Martin Scorsese. Okay. Starring Leo DiCaprio, Daniel Day-Lewis, Cameron Diaz, John C. Reilly, Brendan Gleeson, Jim Broadbent. Jim Broadbent? Isn't that a fucking... Isn't he like a sim racer? Or is that Jimmy Broadbent? Wait. I was like, he's not in that. Yeah, he's a YouTuber, Jimmy Broadbent. Well, that's fucking confusing that there's a famous actor with the same name.
Jimmy.
Anyway.
All right, well...
You better watch fucking Gangs in New York, because I'm going to have watched...
Everything Everywhere All at Once is definitely the priority. But give Peaky Blinders a go. But I want to hear your take on Everything Everywhere.
Yeah, I'll
probably
watch
Gib
that tonight.
Severance season 2. I know it's only been like 2 months, but I need it so bad.
You son of a bitch. I wish you hadn't have told me about it.
Until there were 3 seasons?
Yeah, like I watched Lost when it was like 10 years finished.
Yeah.
I got to watch Dark when it was long finished.
Yeah.
I've never watched... Game of Thrones was the only TV show that I ever like had to wait for the next season.
Yeah.
And with today's, like, you can binge everything on YouTube and you can watch... It's fucking terrible, dude.
It is awful.
I hate that you've done this to me.
I can't believe you've done this. Oh, also, yeah, Ted Lasso, season 3. Gib. Yeah. But, anyways, so that's the stuff. That's the Creamcast. We took last week off. I was at my dad's wedding. It was good times.
Yeah.
On
Father's Day.
Yeah, he got married the day before Father's Day. It's good times. It was good times. It was actually
Congrats to Papa
Kazam.
Jessica.
All right. Okay. But yeah, I mean, not a whole. Oh, I guess a whole lot, but not a whole lot at the same time going on in Tarkov. Pre-wipe's officially started.
Whole lot of nothing.
Whole lot of nothing. Hey, if the wipe is next week, then we'll be on call. If the wipe is literally next Thursday, the 30th, then I guess we'll be on call for the podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering.
I don't know if you'll be coming back. Probably not, but I'll probably be doing like a 24-hour or something.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I wonder if it might actually make for good content, where it was like for new players to be like, here's what it's like to come in the middle of a wipe. If like 4 months from now, I'm like, oh, I want to try out Tarkov.
Honestly, it probably would be. It probably
Veritas
would be.
Returns the comeback.
The
and I've got 33 viewers. all the people that come into the stream that are all like, dude, we miss you, whatever. And it's like, you've never been in you have 6 minutes of watch time. You don't miss me.
Oh, dude.
Don't tell me that.
Dude, it's so funny when you know, one of my favorite things Twitch has added is the first time somebody messages it on your side, it'll say first time chatter.
Yep.
That's the best. Somebody came in the other day and was like, he was like, every time I watch this guy, like in all the time I've watched JesseKazam, I've literally never seen him eat a piece of pizza. Like, I don't get this whole weird shtick. And it was like first time chatter. And I like clicked on his name and it was like watch time less than 1 minute. And I was like, bro, you just told on yourself. Like you just you just got, buddy. And he never said anything else ever again. Like, it was so funny. It was just like, it's such a great feature.
Yeah, see, like, lurkers are the fucking, the MVPs when it comes to Twitch.
Oh, for sure.
But
we can see like
not
watch
when you
time
have,
and stuff.
not when you don't have what. Yeah, I mean, like, if you haven't logged in some watch time on your current account that you're on, if you've been watching fucking incognito, never signed in, or whatever, then just expect when you come in and say some borderline hot take shit that you're probably going to be assumed that you're a troll. If it's your first message on an account that's not following, that has
exactly.
single digit watch time.
It wasn't following single digit watch time.
Every now and then I'll see first message from someone and I see they're a 6-month sub.
Oh yeah.
And they've almost,
and it's like, that's
sometimes
sick.
They've been either gifted that, but it's like, I know you've been around.
100%. 100%. It's so funny. It's so funny. We had somebody come into chat trying to I think I told you this the last time. He came into chat to try to explain to us that watching Twitch was a waste of time. But like in Twitch chat.
The only thing that's more of a waste of time is logging into Twitch to tell people your dumb opinion about the platform you are currently on.
I was like, you're watching Twitch. And his response was, yeah, but I don't normally. I spend most of my time tending to my garden. That was what he said.
There's no way he's a real person.
Dude,
that was either a bot.
I know. I was like, oh, so you created a Twitch account, followed me, watched me, engaged in chat to let us know, hey, I don't normally do this. I'm normally out in my garden. I was like,
you should have said thanks for the ad revenue, dickhead.
Dude, it was so good. And then he made his exit one of those like, I mean, I didn't mean to cause a big scene or anything. Like you guys took it out of control. I guess I'll just leave. And I was like, dude, you're just
rough community you got here, dude. Real rough.
And he didn't even know I was like eating it up for like breakfast. Dude, I was like, your story arc like was great. Like you were a side quest on my adventure here. I loved it. I love
the NPCs in this Twitch.
Dude, 100% NPC move. Like it was glorious.
You got to picture one of those Oblivion. You play Oblivion at all?
Mm-hmm.
Where like the close zoom in on like the.
I'm normally outside tending to my garden. Like so good.
The hero of Kvatch.
It's so good. Are you excited for Space Oblivion? Space Skyrim?
What the fuck is that?
Starfield?
Never heard of it.
Oh, Bethesda announced their new game is going to be original IP. They've just been making Elder Scrolls, then Fallout, and then Elder Scrolls, and then Fallout. They're making a space game called Starfield, and they did like a 16-minute demo. It looks cool.
I'm actually, my heart rate just went up because I'm genuinely. It's going to be one of two extremes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's going to be fucking Fallout 19 or whatever the latest one is, just the biggest dog shit letdown.
Fallout 76, yep.
Or it's going to be the game we've all been waiting for since Skyrim.
For sure.
The game I wanted, Elder Scrolls Online. And when I first heard Elder Scrolls Online, I'm like, Skyrim Online, here we go. And it was like Diablo 3.5. And I was like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
Oh, God, fucking fuck. Oh, Jesus, dude. Oh, I hope it's amazing.
Dude,
are there like trailers or do they just announce it?
16-minute gameplay.
Does it look amazing or like dog shit? No, I can already tell that No. Your answer should have been, yes, it looks unbelievable.
No. Well,
otherwise,
what did you mean?
I'm not excited.
Visually, it looks like it was built on the same engine of Fallout 4, and I was expecting the graphics to be better. But what the gameplay definitely looks amazing. It looks sick.
What's it called?
Starfield. You can customize and create your own spaceship. There's 100 star systems, over 1,000 explorable planets, NPCs, loot, shooter, all of the stuff.
Official teaser trailer from Bethesda Softworks 1 year ago.
Yeah, they announced it a long time ago. They announced it like 3 years ago, and then they did a little teaser that was just a cinematic a year ago, and then like a week ago they did a 16-minute gameplay thing at Summer Games Fest.
Well, I'm looking at it, and it instantly doesn't look interesting.
Really? It looks dope. Well, once again, it looks cool, but it looks like it was made on like an old Bethesda Softworks engine.
It looks like a mix. It looks like a slower Doom. Like at least some of these guns look kind of like Doom Quake-esque.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
there's this shotgun that looks a lot like.
Yeah.
But like Doom Eternal was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
But it was only amazing because of like the pace of it.
Yes.
And
nonstop.
So this just. Oh god. And this the outside looks like Death Stranding.
I don't know.
It doesn't.
We'll see. It's coming out next year. It looks cool.
Everybody
was like Star Citizen killer, and it was like, LOL. No, it's single player.
No, fuck that.
It's single player, and you can't seamlessly fly from space to a planet. It's not gonna kill Star Citizen.
I mean,
But I want it to be good. I want the golden age of Bethesda to return, man. You know what I mean? Fallout.
Yeah, this doesn't look like it's
Fallout 3, like Oblivion, then Fallout 3, then Skyrim. Like they were hitting them out of the park. And then I didn't think Fallout 4 was that great. Fallout 76 was big turds. Elder Scrolls Online has a huge community now, but it didn't have a whole lot of love when it first came out.
Oh my god. I want Kerbal Space Program too. Have you seen...
yeah. When the hell's that? I thought we were talking about KSP 2 years ago. Like, when is that coming out?
I just scrolled down through. There was like the 19th result from Shadow Zone. I don't know who the fuck that is. Kerbal Space Program 2 in quote early 2023 question mark 5 answers about the delay. I know the 5 answers are going to be COVID slowed stuff down. Blah blah blah. Oh my god, this looks so
Stalker
sick.
2. When they gave a updated date for that? Have you seen any of the Stalker 2 stuff? Did you play any of the Stalker?
I played Stalker for about 15 minutes, and all it did, I was like, okay, I feel like playing Skyrim. Instantly uninstalled Stalker and went and play Skyrim.
Stalker 2 looks cool. That was supposed to be out by now, but that got delayed because the developers had to flee Ukraine. Like, that's where they're based out of.
Excuses.
Yeah, I know,
no,
right?
That's literally the best excuse a fucking dev team has
Could have
ever
for
made
delaying
for
a
a delay.
Yeah, and
you got all the time you need, friends.
And they spun up development back, and they put out another hard date. Like, they're like, all right, now we can release it now. Like they freaking crushed it. But that it looks cool. Stalker 2 looks really cool. I didn't play a whole lot of Stalker 1, but Stalker 2 looks cool.
Oh, random last thing I want to talk about. Do you remember there was like an article back in the day about there was a Tarkov streamer that was like in Ukraine, and he was like in the paper, maybe like, I don't remember where it was. It was huge news, basically.
I don't remember that.
Oh god, I'm trying to remember. Let me try and look. I don't remember where. Does anybody remember where it was posted? Oh, this is gonna kill me now. Fuck. Well, anyway, he was like big in the news because he was a Tarkov stream. It was literally like the saddest clip I had ever seen. Like I watched a Twitch clip and was basically in tears. Dude, I want to fucking find it. I forget how to pronounce his full name. It was Bob something. Goddamn. Anyway, it was honestly, to me, like some of the biggest news for the Tarkov community in the last like 3 years was this poor guy. He was literally getting like, his house was like a bunker, and he was really emotional because he's like, I have to leave and I won't be able to stream because of the whole Ukraine thing.
I do remember that.
And he was raising money, and I gone and supported him. And he, after all that time, he came into my chat like last week and was like, dude, I'm like back in a long-term place. I don't exactly know where.
Yeah.
But he's like, we got a home now. We got a farm all set up. We're going to be like self-sustainable in a couple of months. Like, we're all healthy and happy.
That's crazy.
And it was just the fucking greatest news ever. And like literally, I need to find it. I can't not call him out.
That's crazy.
Or shout him out. Because everybody here needs to know. God damn it. I want to get his full name. I know I'm gonna butcher it. First of all, chat. Let me toss this into chat. But you guys all need to know, if you literally Google like Ukraine streamer, how are none of his names? His name isn't in any known as Bobu or the Tarkov guy. But what's his full name? Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Bobuubi. That clip has 263,000 views. And he's just the nicest guy. He started his own like foundation, raised tons of money to help like the Ukrainian efforts. But yeah,
that's crazy.
Everybody should. He's back. First of all, he's got better fucking internet than me. He's like, I got fiber and all. I'm like, you son of a bitch! Like, what the fuck? He's got a gig down. I'm like, dog, I don't even have a gig down. I don't have fiber.
So
like, what the hell?
sick.
But it seems like things, for those of you who know, who are listening to this, who know, it seems like things have really turned around for him. But yeah, Bobuubi, one word. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. But
awesome.
He's back to streaming again. Everybody go fucking.
We can shout him out in the show notes of the podcast too.
Yeah. We'll do. Sorry, I just wanted to get that out.
No, that's sick.
That's the best Tarkov related news anybody's heard ever. So
yeah, that's crazy.
There you go.
Well, that's dope. That's good to hear. Because I thought for some reason you were talking about like longer ago, but then once you were describing it, I was like, I do remember being sent that clip. Like that was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. So hell yeah, that's so sick. Well, there we go. We'll end on some good news, man. We'll end on some good news. Well, thank you guys as always for hanging. As per usual, this will be live next week. I love, in a way, I love when we miss an episode because like it just reminds you how many people listen. So many people were like, "Yo, where the hell's the podcast, dude?" If I don't post it by like 11 a.m. on Mondays, I start getting tagged on Twitter being like, "Where's my podcast, bro? Like I need it for my drive home from work." Like it's so sick.
Dude, you know what? I have to admit, and I'm not proud of it. It's like part of me kind of like rolls my eyes like initially, and then I feel shitty because there are so many podcasts I listen to that I'm like, where is it? Like Thursday mornings is when they, so like I fucking get it.
Yep.
I get it.
And it's so cool that you guys think about us that way. You know what I mean? That it's like
it's hard to think of yourself on the other side. It genuinely is, for a while it felt like your teacher or your parent who's like, have you done the dishes yet? You're like, I'll fucking get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's awesome.
We got to get used to being fucking indispensable to people's people's
routine
commutes and their work days and stuff. But yeah, we appreciate you guys.
We really do. So this one we missed one, but this one will be up on Monday. And then obviously we'll see how it plays out next week. I'm kind of assuming the wipe is next week, so we might do it on a weird time. We might, I might game a few days, and then maybe we'll do a Saturday one or something. Or next week I'll be weeping as I'm still killing all these stupid bosses on customs, and nothing has changed. And you will remind me that Trackmania is waiting for me with open arms.
Now, to be fair, if it does wipe, that would be a pretty hype podcast.
Yeah.
The wipe happened, so maybe we should, even if it's like a 45-minute or an hour one.
True.
It might be worth.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I could just stay live, like even if I'm doing a 24-hour, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll talk about it. But you guys, thank you so much for hanging. We appreciate you being here. And I think that's it. Definitely. See y'all in the next one.
Peace.